Let's go, and we are live once again for Sunday Slams. So this is a live hosted by Hellbound, but today I'm taking over for Hellbound. He's a little busy, so I'm going to be hosting today's Sunday Slams. But hey, we are here again with our poetry slam. So if you guys want to submit your poetry, you can submit it to bozyreacts@gmail.com. And also, if you want to DM me at 1 a.m. letters underscore, that's it, 1 a.m. underscore letters to have your poetry posted. Again, you can DM me there for that, or you can leave a comment down below and let me know if you're interested in that. So we also have our very own Bozy admin here with us today, Sestu Kavi, who's going to be joining us for this. And we're going to read some good poetry. So hope you guys like it. So Liz, how you feeling today?
Oh, today has been phenomenal. I just have decided that I think that I instinctively always know that Sundays are poetry slams because I always have poems ready for Sunday, and then I go to look at the date and I'm like, oh, today's Sunday. I'm always ready. Are you ready, Lou?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. So I was kind of like looking through some websites to see if I could find some poems, and I actually found like a cool little website with like short poems on it. So I'm gonna try to like read a couple of those, and we can kind of go back and forth of what we think like they mean and stuff like that. But I think I'm gonna start off with one of my own poems that I have on Instagram. So I'm also gonna show you guys the page that I'm talking about, where again you can DM me here to get your poetry posted. So let me get that pulled up for you guys. All right, here it is. And then this is why I love StreamYard, because again we could just share the screen and show you guys what we got going on. So again, this is my poetry page right here. 1 a.m. letters, 1 a.m. underscore letters on Instagram. You can find me on there. DM me to get your poetry posted. And I have a couple entries, so I wanted to show you guys entry number 6. And it,
Ooh, twin flame. All right.
yes, ma'am, it's called Twin Flame. So I'm gonna show it to you guys and also read it at the same time. So here we go. And also, I will be making all your posts. If you send your poetry, I will make it just like this with this little aesthetic that I have going on. So let me read it. So it goes: why do lovers tempt me just to empty me, and people envy me just to what? I've been alone all my life, so I thought. But angels protect me. Still I doubt a bit. Light a cig. Fight my thoughts. I don't doubt. I won't complain. I'm just lost, still. But I'm finding myself every day. I'm not lost. I know myself. See my brain playing tricks, but I always like games. I'm good with a controller. Used to love toxic, controlling women, but deep inside, I thought it was real love. Now I know only I can give myself that love. Just my thoughts. Can you help me decipher? Love, my heart.
That's a good one.
So, what are your thoughts on this one, Liz?
Um, So, here's the thing. When it comes to the name Twin Flame, I don't believe in those. Personally, I think it's just all a mirage that people put out there. When they get along with someone really well, and it's a mirror off someone else. Personally, and so that's a whole vibe. But the thing outside of twin flaming, right? So I'm reading what you were or listening to what you were saying in your poem. Can you put up the screen really quick so everyone can see that again? But I want the paper version. Thank you. So what I like like about this is that it's like how I feel in a way is the way you're explaining this twin flame situation, you know, um, and putting your feelings out there like this is like you are in this entanglement of like um the number 8, and it feels like as if it doesn't end. And then although it feels like there's something that's being attempted or being valued within the love scene, nothing is being grasped entirely. And it's beautiful because like the most significant thing out of this whole thing was light a cig, right? And it's the simplest little statement, but like in with that statement is like why do people smoke cigarettes? Due to stress, right? Due to habit, things of that nature. And so I take it as two different types of symbolisms. You know, it's like it can be stressful being seeing someone that, you know, mirrors you and that you feel a connection with. And it also can be a habit that it just seems like something natural. And sometimes these things aren't natural. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of where my mind's at with that.
I'm just gonna mute you real quick because of the background. But now I like that. I like that because again, you know, I like to always say like these poems are meant to bring in other perspectives than just my own. So you know, like with me, it's like I would say pretty straightforward, right? So I kind of run down the whole thing. So why do lovers tempt me just to empty me? And that's like, you know, I feel like a lot of women, and not just calling out the women, right? Because I feel like men do this too, but just personally, women, since y'all like women, you know what I'm saying? You know, I feel like they'll tempt me, like they'll play like this cat and mouse game just to drain my energy and just to get some of my energy and just go. And I've experienced that a lot. So that's kind of what that line is trying to say. Like, it's like I have a lot of love offers. Some of them are real. Some of them are just like I don't know, like just playing games or just like trying to manipulate. And again, just to like drain me of my energy. And then going into and people envy me just to what, you know. So I felt like my whole life I've either had doubters or I've had people that like were envious of me. And you can kind of tell of an envious person just how they react and how they treat you and stuff like that. So just kind of asking that question like why? To do what? Like why are you being envious of me if all I'm trying to do is show love and help people grow and this and that, you know? So and then I've been
Well,
alone all my life. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, no, what I wanted to say to you is I feel very similar to you in those senses because I feel like um it didn't really matter what I tried to do um and as much love as I would try to like protrude outwardly. I always felt alone, just like you were just saying, and like been alone because I wasn't just like I felt it, like I've seen it, you know what I mean? Like the actions and everything. And like I always knew that like if I like someone, they definitely did not like me and would play this cat and mouse game. So as soon as I would start to lose interest, they would come running again. Just to keep me on. You know what I mean? Like it's not that they wanted me, they just wanted the attention. That's all I was gonna say. But yeah, I get you.
No, you good. If you wanna like cut in again like that, you're good. Don't worry about it. But yeah, again, like it's like I don't understand. Like I've always been somebody that's pretty straightforward. Like for one, I'm not somebody to just like hit it and quit it. That's just not my thing. I don't really care too much for sex now. The only time I care for sex is in the relationship. I think in a relationship, sex is important. You know what I mean? But overall, I don't care for it. Like I'm not out here looking just for that. I'm actually looking for somebody that I can spend time with on a more intimate level. Like that's something that I crave and like the affection aspect of it and like being able to cuddle with somebody and share with somebody, kiss somebody. That's what I want. I just want somebody to share all this love that I have, because I have so much, and I have so much healing energy and so much. So it's good to, like, I have good friends like you guys that are on the admin team. I consider all you guys friends. We're not just a team, we're a family. So like that's enough for me sometimes. But sometimes, I crave the little extra stuff, which, like, that's just human. But yeah, like I agree with that. It's just like you pour your all into people, and it's like they can't handle it, and then they blame you, and they say that you're too much. But I told you from the beginning, hey, I love a lot. I do this a lot. Like, and I just think it's funny how some people would say the same about themselves. Like, oh, I have such a big heart. I love a lot. Like, I need this, I want that. But when they get it, they don't know how to handle it. So I feel like there's two sides. There's the people that are just saying it because everybody says it, and then there's
Yes.
the people that say it because they're not fucking lying. It's just the truth. You know what I mean?
Well, actions speak really loud, right? And for a lot of people who are on YouTube that don't know me, I met this guy going on 2 years now. It's been a whole year. I guess it's been a whole year, right? Something like that. I fucking dude, I don't know.
Like a year and a half, maybe.
And our friendship built on us just getting to know each other. We had common interests when it came to building basically BOZY WRLD, right? And just the aspect of how humans are, and like how him and I have both been in situations where like family, so-called friends, like so-called lovers, just didn't have the same eye. And what made our friendship, I think, as strong as it is today is the fact that like we went through a lot of different situations before we started working together, and we were just friends. And we like got to know each other really well. We realized we didn't like certain things about each other. We were like, F you. And then we became friends again, and we were, okay, let's just try this a different way than we did last time. And a lot of things have come our way even now that we've been in business, and I think that like we have learned to trust each other to where we can be building our castle foundation, right? But like a lot of people don't care to take the time to see the bad things in you and stick around. It's like, oh, this is a tough situation, or I don't want to have this conversation, or you're just too much, or annoying the fuck out of me, or whatever it is. And then people just walk away. It's why a lot of marriages don't last, because it's about looks, or it's about the shallow conversations that brought them the mirroring effect to like when they finally got to meet the other person, like deep down it's like, oh, I didn't know that was you. Okay. But I feel like that's what makes me always want to stay in a relationship, whether it's friends or whatever it is, because if once I get my foundation down, it doesn't matter what you say to me, it doesn't matter how you act or what you dress in. Those things will define how I love you as a person. And telling you that into the world, Lou, you are always going to find the best person that's just for you. You just can't look for it. It's just going to be when you least expect it. But for now, you got some fire poems out of all this.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, this is an old poem. So it's like, and it's funny because, like, if you guys understand that time is an illusion, right? There's a lot to that. There's a lot to that. For one, that it's, in a sense, not real. It's kind of manufactured. Like, there's a lot of more aspects to it than just that. So, like, it's funny how I always put in my songs, some of my songs, when I'm dealing with a different woman, sometimes it's like different woman or different skin, same demon. I'm gonna let that sink in a little bit. Same woman, I mean different woman, same demon. So it's
Yeah,
like,
that makes sense.
you know what I'm saying? It's like a different body, a whole different person, but it's the same energy, the same fucking demon that I dealt with before. And that's what it's been like with my last couple relationships. It was like just the same shit, a cycle, just a cycle. So that's why this poem is very universal, not just for myself and my experiences, but for other people who have dealt with the same type of person, because it's always the same thing. When it comes to relationships, we all deal with the same things. It's either the person cheated, or the person gave up on you and left because you were too much, or whatever. It's always the same thing. They leave and then they linger and try to give you false hope. Like, we all deal with the same thing. So, that's kind of like what this poem is kind of about. So let me kind of read a little more through it. So I've been alone all my life, so I thought, but my angels protect me. Still I doubt a bit, lie to sig, fight my thoughts. So that's pretty self-explanatory, right? Like, where I feel like I've always been alone all my life, but that's what I thought. That's what I was thinking in my head. It wasn't the truth, because I had angels protecting me. I had my ancestors with me the whole time, getting me through things. And even though I was going through things, I was still able to get through them to be where I'm at now. And still doubting myself a little bit, even though like I kind of like brought attention to that, or like, okay, I had protection, I'm good, but I'm still doubting it a little bit because of like things that just come up. So I light a cigarette and I fight my thoughts. Like, me smoking cigarettes is just like, I used to do it because of stress and because of that. Now I really just do it because I want to. I just like it, and it's kind of like in a sense, a relaxer almost. But I don't really like try to rely on it too much. And again, just fighting my thoughts, and like you can see me fighting my thoughts in this poem because I'm going back and forth. It's like, I know I'm good, but I have protection, but you know what I'm saying, like, and stuff like that. Do you have anything to add, Liz, before I move on to the rest?
No, I'm just listening, brother. Go ahead.
All right, bet. So again, fight my thoughts. I don't doubt. I won't complain. I'm just lost still, but I'm finding myself every day. So that's one part of it. Now the rest of it is basically the opposite. So again, I don't doubt. I won't complain. I'm just lost still, but I'm finding myself every day. That battle, right? I'm not lost. I know myself. See my brain playing tricks, but I always like games. I'm good with a controller. So that's kind of just a little wordplay, like, video games, controller, whatever. But talking about somebody playing games trying to control you, right? And then going into, used to love toxic, controlling women, but deep inside, I thought it was real love. Now I know only I can give myself that love, just my thoughts. Can you help me decipher? So I'll say this. Um, I don't want to say anybody directly, but like some of my relationships from when I was like very young, like 14 years old, 15 years old, I dealt with a lot of women that were controlling and that like wanted to control everything about me, like everything, like, and I feel like that was very like, it was more like that back then, where it was like, and you probably like been here before, Liz, right? Where it's like, you want to see your man, you look at your man like, oh, I don't like your mustache, shave that shit. You know what I mean? I'm not, might have not been, but like when we were younger, that's how it was. Like, because we were kind of
Well,
going off of everybody
I
else
was
from.
I was going off looks when I was younger. I I didn't really care about the personality, and I was really self-centered, so I paid attention to only their looks and also their status and how much money they had. Um, so yeah, anytime they did anything they changed their shirt, did something to their hair, talked a certain way. I noticed I was critiquing everything about them to where I made them, to myself in my mind, I disgusted myself with them because I just realized I didn't like them. I really didn't like these people. It's so
Nah,
bad to
that's
say.
real.
I'm not like that no more, okay?
Nah, that's real though, cause look, that's the thing, right? Like people like us that kind of like go like, hey, yeah, that was me. That's how you know we've grown. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't even have to tell me like I'm not like that anymore, because somebody who is still like that wouldn't even say that and come out loud and say, yeah, like I used to do this. That's bullshit. You know what I
Well,
mean?
I also think too, like, it's why I became really independent. Because for a long, long, long time of my life, I was independent because I refused to go to work. I went to Taco Bell once for like a day. I was working for 3 hours and I bawled my eyes out as a cashier that only had two customers all day. And it was too much work. I could not handle it. It was too much for me. So I stopped working and I decided that I was just gonna like just surf through life through other people. So embarrassing to say things like that. But it I guess it's something I needed so I could, like, in the sense of what I'm talking about with your poem is like, we go through these hardships, because whenever it rains or it storms really hard, it snows really bad, it's like, yeah, they exist and it sucks. But then, like, as soon as the sunshine comes through or it gets warmer outside or anything of that nature, it reminds me how much I appreciate the really beautiful times that exist because I get to experience the really bad hardships. Because if I didn't have bad hardships and I only had good ships, especially when it comes to people, I would never appreciate the really wonderful things that happen in my life or like cherish them like gold. I think that's with you too. It's like you've lived this hard life, but it's because of this craziness you can like be free, I guess.
No, yeah, I believe that. It's true, cause like just from my last three relationships, I've learned a lot, and I think the last one was a reminder, like a kind of like an eye opener, like oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Like I gotta like I thought I was doing better, and I was. It was just not the person for me, not the person that could handle me. Because
Mm.
again, like every person that I talk to, like new person, whatever, I let them know off the rip. I like you. I fuck with you. Let me know right now if you like me. Now, if the person, because I'm not trying to waste no time. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to sit here and fucking waste my time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like I need to know off the rip, and also like just know the intentions. Like if somebody tells me, hey, I just want to be friends for now. Let's just talk, get to know each other. All right, cool. If they want to be more, cool. If they want to just hook up, I'm fine with that. Again, I'm not looking for it, but if a girl's like, hey, what's up? Let's meet up. Let's chill, and it
How do
happens.
you how do you hook up with someone that you don't have like you don't have feelings for though? How do you do that?
I mean,
Does it
again,
you still have fun doing that? Like, I'm not judging you. I'm just curious because I can't just hook up with people. I don't know how to do that.
no, I'm saying like, cause don't get me wrong, I've had a lot of chances to do it, to do something like that, and I never really went through with it, cause like it just didn't feel right. So like I have to have some type of attraction to them. Like there has to be something or some type of like feeling or something there for me to even go through with it. But I'm just saying like overall, like in general, I wouldn't be against it, depending on I feel like it's a situation on a situation basis. Because again, like there was this one girl I was talking to a while back from New York, older lady too. She was like in her 40s, and like I knew she wanted to like hook up. Like she wasn't looking for more. There was no connection there, and I was like, you know what? Why not? I was in a time of my life where like I was kind of tired of getting heartbroken, so I said, you know, let me just see where this goes. But then the more I talked to her, and the more we started getting to know each other, I wasn't really feeling it. Like I didn't feel no connection. So I told myself, never mind,
Mm.
never mind. But again, if it was just to happen, like let's say, for example, we're all out, you and me, hellbound light, we're all out like partying or we're at a show, we're having fun. You know what I'm saying? I'm sobered up though. You know me, I don't do anything, but still, I'm having fun. There's a lot of good energy out there. And then we go back to the house, we bring some people over. You know what I'm saying? Like we're just again chilling, having fun,
Yeah.
and then shit just happens. You know what I'm saying? I meet somebody there, we're vibing,
All
everything's
right, all
feeling
right.
good. We go to my room or something, boom, and it happens.
But doesn't that
That's
make you? Yeah, but don't you think about things like that and then like wish that you could have? Oh, that's the wrong way to put it. Hold on. Yes, it happened, I guess, right? But like, didn't you think about the next day, like, man, I would like to be with this person now because now I shared this very intimate space with someone. I'm more or less just asking because I don't understand it and I would like to
yeah.
understand where other people think from. Do you know what I'm saying?
I mean, again, it's like again, it just really depends on the situation. Like I feel like if it happens, it happens. Cause like I've had a lot of, I don't want to say a lot, but I've had a couple times where like it just kind of happened.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I did like the girl though. There wasn't like I don't like her. I don't want to do anything with her. Like I definitely wanted to do something with them. Now that was back then where I was more like just like caring about the physical appearance and like wasn't really looking too inside. So now it would be a little different. But again, I'm just saying like I wouldn't, I still want to have fun. Like I'll say that. So I'm not opposed to it. Like if I know like the girl's a good girl, like I've known her for a while, and like again, it kind of just happened. It happens, and then afterwards we'll talk about like, hey, was this just a one-time thing, or is it gonna be more?
No, it was a one-time thing. I'm gonna have sex with 10 guys each a day for the rest of my life. Hang up. I'm just kidding.
And look, honestly, if that happened, if it was like, hey, yeah, that was just a one-time thing and whatever, I'd be like, all right, cool, whatever. At least, look, I'd rather that than somebody lead me on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like for real, because like that's the thing, right? My relationship from like 2022, I felt like it was like that. Like the girl just wanted to like just hook up
Yeah.
and like just have fun, but she didn't tell me that. She made it seem like she wanted to be in a relationship. I asked her to be my girlfriend, and then she said yes. We were together for 6 months, and then she cheated on me. So it's like
Holy
she could have told me in the beginning. If she would have told me in the
Mm.
beginning, if she would have told me in the beginning, hey, I just want to fuck around. I just want to hook up. I would have been like, cool. Because for one, that's when I was doing marketing and I was working a lot. I was always in the office. I wasn't getting home until like 6, 7 at night to wake back up at 6, 7 in the morning, go back to work. So like I
Yeah.
was fine with just hooking up and like just having fun. Cause like I had a lot of women in that job that really liked me, that really wanted to like, you know what I mean? And part of it was the fact that I was making a lot of sales in there and I was always on bell. They were always
Yeah.
calling my name. I
I'm
was
sure you look
always
like the cool guy.
yeah, I was the cool guy. I was always doing sales. Like I was a leader. I was always dressed nice, smelling good. Like I get it. So I was like, you know what, whatever. I was having fun. I was still like what? I think I was like 25 still around the time. So I was still kind of just turned 25. You know what I'm saying? Been home for like 2 years at that point, or not even like a year. So I was still kind of just exploring and having fun and stuff like that. But what did I do? I settled down. I gave this girl my all, thinking she wanted it, and she did it.
I don't understand people who can't communicate properly enough to get things done properly, right? Because it's like, I have gotten led on so much by people because I'm very straightforward, right? I'm like, hey, you better listen to me. I mean, I don't talk like that, but whatever. Anyways, and these people, I feel like we live in this culture where it's like, very fast paced, especially online. So like people tend to be in this space where it's like, I'm gonna keep you around until I find something better. And you're not the best, but you're all right. You're okay for now. Like it's disgusting because I'm not in a grocery store. There's not a label on me that says how much I, cost. Hello? I'm priceless, thank you very much. But yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, again, I'm just I just want to be open to. Like I think that's like my next step into my journey when it comes to relationships and love. I think I just have to be open to everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And kind of like just like look at my options and explore my options instead of just like, okay, fuck everybody else. I'm gonna focus on this one girl because like I've been doing that for a long time and it's never worked.
It's not that it's a bad thing, man. I think that you know how I always say actions mean everything? So like I really feel like actions mean everything, cuz like I kept busy with work. I stopped caring about other people to the point where I started living my own life, right? Sold my house. That made me tons of money because I had huge ass parties at my house with DJs. I would have food trucks outside. Like, I had all kinds of stuff. And I got rid of all of it. Lived in my car, this beautiful baby that I love so much. I'm gonna start breaking my window. To do what I love most, right? Which is what? Music. And the people I love most, which are people I'm gonna meet along the way that are not gonna fuck me over and they're gonna be on the same level with me. And I did. I found the most amazing people to do that with, you included. And I stopped caring about things. So like I take myself out to dates. I went to Snooze and I had some breakfast for myself and I went on a little date. I listened to some romantic music and I sat there eating some food and I had the best time that I had for the few minutes that I was in there eating because it was just something for me. I went to a museum last week. I put my earphones in, listened to some music. I had some wine. I walked around. I had a blast hang out myself. It was the best experience of my life. And it's that moment of like, yeah, okay, so you get in a relationship one day and it gets really serious and there's nothing wrong with it, right? But what I'm telling you is like you don't look for I used to look for it. Right? I used to look for the relationship. I used to like see people and I had to tell myself, look, you've been single for 5 years. For a reason, because you're looking for the right one this time that you could spend your whole life with without second guessing that they're going to stab you or put drugs in your food when you don't know it. Because I had this one guy who used to put fucking drugs in my salt. Okay? And I realized there was weird stuff in my salt one day, and I was like, the fuck is this? So I dumped it in front of him, and he was like, what'd you do that for? That's salt. I'm like, no, bitch. There's drugs in it, and I know it. Long story short, it is what it is, right? But the whole point is that, like, I realized this time around, I need to focus on this person. Because I love this person, like, more than probably anybody. Outside of God. I love God the most, but me second. And, like, that's the whole thing is I'm with myself all the time. I'm the one who helps me go to bed at night. I'm the one who helps me wake up in the morning. I'm the one who has to remind myself to eat or to take care of my body or to do anything, right? So it goes with my mental too. So like when I can find someone, which by the way, guys, I have, but like when you can find someone who can be on that same level with you that is almost equal to your level of how you take care of yourself, then things change, right? It's not because of what they say to you, right? People talk all day. It's what they do that I notice that makes me go, I trust you now, right? But they can't say, their words have to speak with their actions. That's the balance. And with Yulu, perhaps it's just she's waiting around the corner, but there's some things within you that you have to get together first. I say that not because I want to say that to you. It's that because I had to say
I
it to
get it.
myself. You know what
I
I'm
get
saying?
it.
Thank you. Because like I used to be like, man, I feel like I'm super close, but then like God, what is it I'm doing that you're telling me that I'm not doing something right? Like, what am I doing wrong that you won't allow me to be in a relationship? And so I kept having to look deeper and deeper and deeper. And then God kept telling me, stop looking for people. That's what you're doing wrong. You need to work. That's what you need to do right now. And I was like, okay. And then I kept myself busy all the time. And then when I least expected it just happened, which I didn't expect it to happen the way it did. But I'm a little wild, so whatever. But you're the same way. You're wild too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I'll say this, like, I don't think it has anything to do with me. And I don't want that to come out like I'm being cocky or anything, but I'll tell you this
Yeah.
much, Liz, like the last 2 to 3 years I've worked on myself a lot, and I have healed a lot of trauma. Like a lot of fucking trauma. Like that, and I'm telling you, like my focus was only on me
Yeah.
for like the last 2 to 3 years. And I'll say I think it was more 2 and a half, where it was like it was strictly like no relationship, no talking to nobody, maybe flirting here and there, but like, you know, kind of small stuff, and then kind of learning some things like within that. And like what I've noticed is that I just had a lesson that taught me, that showed me that I'm ready. Because the way I like I dealt with everything, the way that I coped, the way that getting rid of all that pain now and healing from it way quicker than I did last time. Because last time it took me 2 fucking years to
Yeah.
heal from that person, to the point where like I can hit up that person now and I don't feel that same hate, that same anger. I really don't care. I don't really miss them. It is what it is. I let go of attachments. And what I think it is kind of just being even more patient. Cause like I'm already patient, but I need to be more patient because there's other things that need to be done and taken care of.
Yeah.
So
And maybe she's not ready for you at whoever it is, you know? Maybe she has a lot of growing to do still too, you know?
oh yeah,
Whoever that
listen.
person is out in the world.
That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of the love offers that I've been seeing and I've been noticing, I don't think they're ready, and it sucks
Yeah.
because like I'm ready. I'm 100% ready. I've been like it's gonna sound funny. I've been training for this day. Like coach put me in. Like I'm fucking ready. And it's funny because like you would think that when you're ready, that's when it's time. Nope. The universe is like, there's another lesson. That's not how it works. Once you are ready, there's still
Exactly,
other
man.
things that come up and
Exactly.
that have to be, you know what I'm saying? Because like I'm telling you, Liz, like I've really grown a lot, just personally, and like I feel very confident in what we're doing with BOZY WRLD.
Me too.
Like even though like sometimes I kind of get like down, and I'm like I don't know, like yo, this whole like past 2 weeks, I'm like I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know what's the next step. I don't know what this is gonna turn out to be. I don't know how this is gonna do. And I just got to a certain point where I'm like, look, you're thinking about the future too much. You're thinking about the past too much. Stay present. Show up. It's gonna pay off. We just started on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? This is our second Sunday Slams.
Yay!
Keep going. Show up every week. That's it. That's all we gotta do. We just gotta keep showing up. And
And
that's
we're
for
doing
everybody.
it.
For everybody who's watching now and who's gonna be watching later, that's what I'll tell everybody. Just keep doing it and stay present with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you never know. Like I've been meeting a lot of people. That's another thing I've been noticing. I've been getting a lot of connections, a lot of this and that. And I only have a year left on my parole. Once that's like gone, I'm gonna be able to travel and like meet more people and actually connect with the people I've been
We're gonna
meeting.
go on tours.
Absolutely.
I'm so
So
excited.
Yeah. So, did you want to read your poem now, or you want me to look at one of these short poems?
I could do mine now. And then after mine, I'm gonna go into Smashburger because I have to use the loo.
Okay.
All right. Can you still see me or hear me?
Yes. I think you're just frozen. I'm gonna get you out the screen because you're frozen. It look funny. Wait. Say something. I can't hear
Damn
any.
it. So do I have to be in here for you to hear me, I guess?
Probably. Do you have? Where do you
Crazy.
have it? Can you send it to the email or something?
Um, I can. It's gonna pause me for a minute.
Oh, you're good. I'll take you off the screen for a second and just let me know when you're ready. But yeah, guys, again, we do Sunday Slams every Sunday at 6 p.m. Today I'm taking over as host. So usually it will be Hellbound who hosts, and you can subscribe to his YouTube. Make sure you turn on all notifications so you don't miss Sunday Slams. And then also we have Friday music reviews at 3 p.m. every Friday. That'll be on my page, so the one you're watching us on right now. This is where you'll see the reviews. We also have 10th in Music with RPG, and he also does Artist on Artist. So if you guys want to be interviewed and have a little spotlight for yourself, you can DM RPG or one of us, and we'll get you on the calendar. And again, if you want to have, and 10th in Music is like an album review. So if you have an EP or album that you want reviewed, we also do that. So we have a lot of things going on. If you guys follow us on Instagram, you can basically look at everything we have going on. I'll put my IG up right now. You guys can hit me up
Yeah.
and let me know. So did you
It's sent to you.
sent it? Okay.
It should be. I made it today. It's talking about pizza, as always. Because that's just who I am.
As it should. All right, let's say.
Alright. I'm gonna go inside this place. I'm here though.
All right, cool. So I'll just mute you for a sec while I read this next poem. So again, guys, we got a poem in submitted by Sestu Kavi. So I'm gonna be reading it for you guys, and it goes: This I call infamous dread. It's that morning stew from the dreams that simmer. A compass has been my guide. Compass. Let me start that again. It's that morning stew from the dreams that simmer. A compass has been my guide. Taken on a bittersweet journey from a void of never knowing, but have always had it coming, and perhaps always knowing. The dread of an ongoing affair of living life and enjoying the freedom of air and smiles that has given me the true essence of love. But the betrayal of stale mockery from the rot that lingers underneath. The golden nugget. The feathered wares of being. I'm sorry. Yet it is this moment of I who am intrigued by the stamina that I held within that has lifted me, swaying me, shaving my path of in front of me. For healing is not easy, but healing does heal, and it's from this that I feel a peace wash over me. So guys, just let me know in the comments what you think about this poem. And what are your thoughts on it again? You can put that down in the comments if you gotten this far. So I think I'm going to read it one more time because I kind of stumbled a little bit there. So
What'd you say?
now I said I'm going to read it one more time. So See if I can get a little more of it. So again, guys, this is called Infamous Dread by Shesu Kavi. It goes. It's that morning stew from the dreams that simmer. A compass has been my guide. Taken on a bittersweet journey from a void of never knowing, but have always had it coming and perhaps always knowing. The dread of an ongoing affair of living life and enjoying the freedom of air and smiles that has given me the true essence of love, but the betrayal of stale mockery from the rot that lingers underneath, the golden nugget, the feathered wares of being. Yet it is this moment of I who am intrigued by the stamina that I held within that has lifted me, swaying me, shaving my path in front of me. For healing is not easy, but healing does heal, and it's from this that I feel peace wash over me. Okay, I love that.
Yes. So, what do you feel by this?
So, because that's why I read it twice, because I feel like there's a lot here. But what I get from it overall, it's like a journey, right? That's evident. It's a journey. It's a healing journey. So basically, going from not knowing anything, in a sense, to where like everything is unknown. You don't know what's gonna happen next, right? So it's like something happened. You don't know where to go next, but then you kind of like go through it and you start noticing, like you become more present, and you start like understanding that. And I'll say it resonates with me, right? Because like being on a healing journey and like healing from things and then finding out that all you have to do is love yourself to be able to love somebody else and to be able to just show love and give love. And again, you kind of started off like, okay, I don't know what to do. I don't know what's my next move. But then you kind of just go with it, just go with everything that's happening. And you start learning and going from the unknowing to like, okay, now I know to an extent what I need to do, what love is. And then I feel like it's a reflection here also in this poem where it's like, it took a lot of time and a lot of like your energy, and you're like, you're being grateful that you had that energy and again that stamina to keep you going, and just keeping it going was the thing that like basically made your path for you into the healing journey. Because like I'll say this, it's either when something happens to you that's like very traumatic, you either stay stagnant and stay in that pain and that fear and all that stuff and let it get worse, or you keep going, you keep moving despite it, and you kind of go through those waves of pain and those waves of sadness until you come out on the other side. You know what? That wasn't even that bad. That was ridiculous. Life is life. Whatever. Just keep going. So I mean, that's what I kind of get from it.
I really liked the way you viewed that. I don't remember what I wrote. I wrote it for someone. Um, but I do like that point of view that you bring to it as well, and that you could see it in that way. It's beautiful.
Yeah, because again, I think that's what poetry is. Like you have the writer's perspective, which it was for them, right? You wrote it for yourself. You didn't write it for anybody. You wrote it for yourself. Even if you did write it for somebody else, you really wrote it for you, right? To get those feelings out, to get that feeling out, to get that energy out of you onto paper and just not have it built inside, right? And then,
Well, for me, when I wrote it, I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't have intentions for like personal like I don't know, like,
Because you
see
say
how to
you wrote it
explain
for
this.
somebody, right? You say you wrote it for somebody, right?
It wasn't like for me to tell them. It was more like to understand them, right? And is why I wrote it. But it is how my viewpoint for that. Um, but it wasn't really like a personal thing. It was more like oh, those are gross. It was more like a growth pattern, like universal statement. You know, like, you know how like all of us have like those universal um phrases that everyone uses. Like, I'm gonna use
Yeah.
the like the most popular one. Hey, right? And I feel like that was kind of like in that realm where it's like that universal of like understanding each other in that way, but like nothing that was really deep. I don't know. I don't really use poems that are really deep anymore. Um, I try not to speak when I feel that way. I use beats instead, and then like I use like lyrics. If I'm gonna sing, it's like I'm talking to someone else. So that's the weird. This is something I learned about me when I'm, especially when I'm making like collaborations with other people and singing, is that I'm not talking deep. I use that for my beats, so I don't have to speak out loud because I don't want anyone to ever know what I'm saying or what I'm feeling.
So when you read the poem, do you have a meaning for it?
The meaning for that poem specifically was just to iterate how we as humans, it's basically not entirely what you were saying, but there was a lot of things that you said into it that really fell into that, where it's
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, the existence that we live here and the difficulties of living in general. Not talk about suicide. It's just being alive. It's hard sometimes. And although there are moments of like happiness and like, you know, frivolities to the glory that we make happy for ourselves or like smile from, there are moments of like this staggering darkness that like dwells inside each and every person, and it feels like arbitrary because we're constantly feeling like we are cheating on this darkness with something different and fresh, which is light and happiness and growth. And then somewhere deep and down is always like this moment of like, you can't get by or you can't whatever. But like when we think of those moments, we realize where we actually are standing in the salvation that is provided to us by the light that was given to us. And that's really what guides us to keep going forward in whatever it is that we do in the positive light.
Okay,
Basically,
so
like what you were saying, in a way, you know?
that's what that's what I was trying to like go into, right? Where it's like when you wrote the poem, you were doing it for you in a sense, even if you didn't notice it, even if you're still like, ah, because look, that was your meaning. So that means
Right.
that understanding of what you think the poem is, that's your message,
Yes, yes.
right? And then what I explained it to be, how I understood it, is my message. So everybody who reads that poem is gonna have their own interpretation, their own perception, and their own feeling of that poem, and that's what poetry is for. That's why I love poetry, because even with my poem that I read earlier, you had your own understanding of what you thought it meant to you. And that understanding is just as valid as mine, even though I'm the
Yes.
one who wrote it. Because
Yes.
that's the point. That's why we love poetry. That's why we do it.
Yes.
Because it's just expression.
It's like looking at paintings or like artwork that someone made, and people go to the gallery because it's not that the way that person's poem or that painting was gonna like guide them necessarily, but it's like you look at that painting that someone else did and you're just like, whoa, that's so wild, right? And then you want to do something for yourself, um, in the sense of like, how do I view this or blah blah blah. And so then it turns into like a whole thing. That's why I love art. Because you're right, it's how we like interpret these things. It's how we are able to like enjoy each other's time and also like get to learn each other deeper levels, you know? I love the art
Hmm.
community. I don't know why I ran away for so long when we had all this going on when I was younger, but I love it. What's up, Willa? Yeah, I really love it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, because it goes the same thing with music. I've had a lot of times where like people told me like one of my lines from one of my songs, and it was like, "What does this mean?" And I would tell them, and it was like, "Oh, I didn't even know that's what you were saying. I thought you were saying this." And that's why a lot of times in like some of my older music, and I'm kind of doing it again now, I'll say some weird stuff, like something that doesn't make sense. So people go, "Hey, what does this mean? What are you trying to say here?" And I just make something up on the spot because like sometimes I wasn't really saying anything. I was just trying to get somebody to think and like use their mind to like fill that gap in.
Love
That's what I
that.
wanted. You know what I mean? Like there was this one time like it was a song I got called it's called Arkham, and I said something in there where it was like death in the fam, think from a stroke. She giving hope. She gon' something like that. It was like death in the fam, think from a stroke. She giving hope. So I was like, she giving hope. Niggas don't know. And people were asking me, what do you mean by that? Like, she giving hope. Niggas don't know. And I was like, what do you think it means? Because I just said it. It just rhymed. But I wanted people to go, what does that mean? She's giving hope. Niggas don't know. Like, if I'm going to interpret it, right, in my own words, I could say, like, she could be anything. It could be universal. She could be nature. She could be the wind. She could be whatever you feel as though gives you hope. And saying niggas don't know is saying, like, people don't know that this can give you hope. Like, that could be an interpretation of it. But somebody
Like they're
else,
not realizing it. Yeah.
exactly. But, like, that's just me thinking off the top. I didn't think about that when I wrote the line. I just wrote the line like that because the line before, and it's funny, the line before that actually had meaning. I said, death from a stroke. I said, no, I said, death in the fam, think from a stroke. So that's a like a nerdy line. So if you know about the Teen Titans and Robin and stuff like that, I had a couple
Yeah.
lines like that in the song, right? And then I said death in the fam, right? So in the comic books of DC, they have a Bat family, which is like Batman, Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl. That's the family, the Bat family, or
Yeah.
something like that, right? So I said death in the fan, think from a stroke. Deathstroke is a villain from the Teen Titans and one of Batman's villains. His name is Deathstroke. So I said, "Death in the fan, think from a stroke." That was the line I wanted people to catch. But the one they caught was the one after. "Death in the fan, think from a stroke. She giving hope. Niggas don't know." They missed the whole other line and were like, "What do you mean by this?" And that line didn't even have meaning. So at the same time, it was almost like a psychological thing where it's like, you can put all this meaning into words and people will miss it and they'll look at the ones that don't even have meaning, but they'll fill it with meaning. So it's kind of like almost like, again, just like playing tricks on a mind. I like mind fucking people in a good way, not in a manipulated way, because I could do that, but I don't. I do it in a good way where it's like I just get people to think and use their brain and like try to like again fill in the gaps.
Yeah. I love that. That's how I am too. I talk in a lot of riddles. You either know or you don't know, but it's for the people who know. And it's not like I'm picking anyone out particularly. I'm just universally speaking, and whoever grabs on, those are the ones who know.
Exactly. But we just hit the hour mark, guys. I appreciate you guys for being here today for Sunday Slams. Again, we do this every Sunday at 6 p.m. So it is hosted by Hellbound. I took over today because he was a little busy with some personal stuff. So it was on my YouTube this time, but every other Sunday it will be on Hellbound's page. So definitely go subscribe to Hellbound, to his YouTube. You might see him in the comments.
Yay!
Or again, just look up his name. It's H3LLBOUND 233233. That's how you can find him on YouTube. Definitely subscribe to his page. Turn on all notifications so you do not miss this
Absolutely.
Besides that, Liz, you got any final messages for?
I just want to say, enjoy your guys' creativity. Always be amazing. Stay tuned with your intuition, and see you in the next live.
Again, appreciate you guys for being here. Love y'all. Catch y'all next week for another Sunday Slams. Peace and love.